Welcome back, dear viewers, and you're still watching The Breakfast Show. And in this segment of our program, we will talk about the 60th Africa Day celebrations, which is celebrated these days in the Egyptian city of Aswan with the participation of many ambassadors from African countries. And to know more about this special event, we are joined over the phone by Mariam Abdallah from Somalia, and she is head of the General Union of African Students in Egypt and the Ain Shams Medical Students. Good morning, Mariam.
Good morning.
So, Mariam, can you talk to us about the 60th Africa Day celebrations currently held in Aswan?
Yes, for the beginning, I would like to say good morning for all your audience for Night
Yes,
TV.
good morning.
And also, I want to correct, I'm a formal Secretary General for African Union, African Student in Egypt. For the celebration and African 60 years of anniversary of African Union, this is the second phase for the celebration, as the celebration started in Cairo.
Yes.
As we know, the father founders, the leaders of Africa, and among themselves, they found this unity for Africa to be more in interaction and integrity and unity on May 25th in 1963. Which is from now till 2023 is the 6th year. So as a big number and special moment and symbolic day, they decide to be not only one day to be celebrated, but also to be like weeks. So now the celebration, the second phase, the first phase was in Cairo, as I said, was exhibition of African food, cultures, and the diversity of culture, and showing in the unity of and embracing and celebrating the unity of Africa. As we know, the Aswan is being integrated as the capital city of the African youth. So the group of ambassadors and ambassadors in Egypt, they decide to celebrate and show their solidarity for this such a like momentum toward the Egyptian government. So they decided to come here and to celebrate the day.
So, Mariam, can you tell me about your activities in Aswan and how are you celebrating this occasion with the African youths?
Oh yes, in Aswan, so far, like we've been visiting such important places that will be impacted on in the future, not only in Egypt but also in the African countries. So far, we visited Aswan Dam and under the guidance of the local authorities, and we also visited the experimental farm on the solar power plant in a Paris village, and also with like the Museum of Africa and Culture, which used to be called the Nile Museum in Aswan here.
Yes, Mariam?
Yeah, so
Yes.
we visited the solar system and the Paris village and Aswan and the Museum of Central and African Culture.
Do we have any, many African youths participating in these celebrations?
Yes, and toward as Africa countries, they have the agenda of 2063. The part of agenda is to empowering the youth and creating sustainability and peace. So, and the group of ambassadors also as they extend the invitations to the youth and the students, which I'm invited on their behalf. I'm presenting on the youth of Africa and the student in Egypt.
Yes, Mariam, can you talk to us about the African Students Union and its activities here in Egypt?
African Student Union, they represent a lot of African students, like more than 40,000 in Egypt. And they have a different, what's called, events, such as like last year, we celebrated this day, I was African, and 25 May with the Minister of Youth and Sport. They celebrated like African Women's Day. they have a lot of cultural events and they celebrate among the students each other for their graduations, when they hold a big ceremony for all the African graduates in Egypt and so on, in order to bring the youth in Africa, those living in Egypt together and to know their cultures and diversities more, and also like in agenda of the African Union, where because of the youth are the future of tomorrow.
So also, Mariam, I'd like to thank you so much. And Mariam Abdallah from Somalia, former head of the General Union of African Students in Egypt and Ain Shams Medical School student, rather. Thank you for being with us. Dear viewers, a short break and we'll be back.